morning, Northbridge students. Happy Monday. This video lesson will assist you with this week's work, which is for the week of May 18th through the 22nd. So we are diving into what is known as found poetry. Now, what is a found poem? What I want you to do right now is I'm going to show you two pictures of found poems. I want you to look at each picture. And again, I want you to kind of think of just what do you see here? What do you notice? What do you notice about the words? Fonts, things like that. So here we go. We're going to look at the first one. And I'll show you the second one. So heading back up to the first one, if I was to look at this and I was asked, okay, can you create a definition for a found poem? Okay, Miss Hammond, this is considered a found poem. Now what makes it a found poem? So I'm going to look at a couple things. I'm going to maybe read through it first. First, look up, things are going well, consider something better, seek a new destination, arise, embrace, discover, endure, obtain strength, appreciate the path following, my companion's celestial shoes, because greater faith changed my heart, live encircled upon the rock. Now I'm going to look at the second one. The times broken one way, we shall overcome, stay home, prevail on earth, trust communities, imagine above and beyond, local myth. So some similarities between two of these found poems is that clearly the person who made these took the words from all different types of sources, okay? This one up here looks like it's been taken from magazine cutouts. Also too, the person maybe used a label creator. Right here, I see that. Kind of my observation of this poem is that although these words are taken from clearly different sources, the overall general message seems to make sense. These words kind of connect with one another. They are trying to, it's almost like this poem is providing some type of motivation, advice, something like that. Now in this one, similar, the person took these words from different sources. I mean, this is an actual street sign. Okay, this one has a type of message as well. Different fonts, but again, somehow these words seem to tie in with one another. Okay, in particularly, we shall overcome, stay home, prevail on earth, trust, building communities, things like that. So kind of what I gather looking at both of these is that, well, these are a mix of words that are taken from multiple sources. They're put together, and when you do put them together, they do have some type of meaning overall as a poem. So again, let's look at it officially. What is a found poem? Found poetry is a type of poetry created by taking words, phrases, and sometimes whole passages from other sources and reframing them as poetry by making changes in spacing and lines, or by adding or deleting text, thus imparting new meaning. So how do you write a found poem? Well, if you look at the top, look at our previous examples, it almost seems like that you could assume the person who wrote each of those poems kind of just threw those words together. A found poem uses language from non-poetic contexts and turns it into poetry. Think of a collage. Visual artists take scraps of newspaper, cloth, feathers, bottle caps, and create magic. You can do the same with language and poems. Writing this type of poetry is kind of a treasure hunt, which I kind of agree if you look at those poems up above. Okay, the people who made these poems, they had to take those words from different sources. You want to search for interesting scraps of words and or phrasing. Then you put them together in different ways and see what comes out. Putting seemingly unrelated things together can lead to surprising results. Either way, found language is a great way to jolt your imagination. There are no rules for found poetry, as long as you are careful to respect copyright, meaning you cite where you took your chosen words from. So why are we learning about this, kind of to wrap this up? Well, your final CEPA, the Curriculum Embedded Performance Assessment for Q4, will be based on you creating one of these found poems on an issue that is important to you in this world. If you had contributed to this discussion board from last week, you answered what issues exist currently in the world. You may use the one you wrote about, or as time continues, you might feel stronger about a different issue or learn about something else that, kind of interests you a little bit more than your previous answer. So after you have watched this video, hopefully you will review it Tuesday and Wednesday, because on Wednesday, the assignment asks you to look back at chapter 18, which is The Good Man. I'm well aware that you used this chapter last week to write a summary. It's a chapter that, from my standpoint, can be used for many different types of assignments and assessments. Either way, you are going to pick out 15 to 20 words or phrases. So if you use the word blue, great, that's one word. But if you use the phrase blue Chevy, that's one phrase. Okay, so that'll count as one. These 15 to 20 words or phrases have to relate to the good man, which is Sal's dad. Then by the end of the week, you are going to create your own found poem based on that chapter. Okay, so again, where are you getting your words and phrases from? Chapter 18. How many are you picking out? 15 to 20 that relate to Sal's dad. How can you create your poem? Well, you can do it on a Google Doc, or you can do it on a piece of paper. You can use fun fonts and words. Okay. If you have any questions about how to complete this assignment when the time comes, please feel free to reach out to me, Ms. Hammond, or Ms. Brown at any time. Thanks, guys. Have a good week. Hope to see you tomorrow during our meets.